Union representing thousands of Chicago police officers suffering a blow in court today as it fights the city's vaccine mandate.
Meanwhile, the police superintendent predicts 80% of police officers will report their vaccination status by the weekend. And WGN's Mike Lowe is live from outside FOP headquarters with the latest tonight. Mike?
Ray and Micah, good evening to both of you. As we speak, there are still a number of police inside FOP Lodge number 7 meeting to discuss the fight over the vaccine mandates. The union's position as of tonight is that it is not anti-vaccine, it is anti-mandate. They say they are taking issue with the way this was all handled, that their workplace conditions were changed without the proper bargaining. Still tonight, the Chicago Police Department reports only 21 officers have been placed on no pay status. That is far fewer than the thousands predicted by the union just last week, raising for some at least the question of whether the concern was real or whether it was rhetoric.
Welcome to day 3 of the Hunger Games, where we find out who the city is going to offer up as tribute.
As the city of Chicago continues to deal with cops who are disobeying direct orders to be vaccinated or tested and then report their status, the police union's first vice president likened this situation to the Hunger Games, the dystopian tale of teens fighting to the death in a world of suffering and injustice. But the superintendent of police would have none of the drama.
One FOP official is describing this stalemate as the Hunger Games. Can you just comment on when you hear that from a member of the police?
I have this saying, don't comment on comments. Last question.
As the battle between union leaders and Mayor Lori Lightfoot's administration continues, union members were huddled at the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge on the near west side. Earlier, the fight was in court, where the union lost a bid to have the judge remove herself from the case over what they said was the appearance of impropriety. Years ago, Judge Cecilia Horan had worked for a law firm that had participated in the work of the Police Accountability Task Force, reforms opposed by the union. But the motion to disqualify the judge was rejected. Judge Horan said, "I have not worked on any matter involving or had conversations about the task force. I do not know or have a personal working relationship with Mayor Lightfoot. Your motion is based solely on my former association with Hinshaw, which is her former law firm." At one point, the FOP lawyer addressed the City of Chicago Corporation Council, saying quick action is needed. Quote, "You have a police department in chaos. You and we need to get together to help solve this problem." The city said it would file another motion today, seeking an extension of the temporary restraining order against FOP President John Catanzara to continue to ban him from publicly encouraging cops to defy the mandate.
Chicago is proceeding with the vaccine mandate, and we'll continue until we receive guidance from the court otherwise.
After today's cadet graduation ceremony at Navy Pier, Superintendent David Brown said 68% of officers have reported their status, and he expects that number to grow to 80% by the weekend. He noted the vaccine mandate is critical to protect the public and the police force. Across the country, more than 460 cops have died from COVID-19 infections since the start of the pandemic, including 4 in Chicago.
This vaccine mandate is about saving officers' lives. The #1 killer of police officers in this country is COVID-19. And lastly, I will just say, remember the oath you just took.
And under a court order, FOP President John Catanzara remains banned from telling his officers to disobey their direct orders to report their vaccination status. There will be another court hearing on Monday, but as we just heard from the superintendent, he expects 80% of officers to have already complied with this order by then. Reporting live tonight in Westtown, Mike Lowe, WGN News.
Thanks, Mike.